I think always important to know that on Zen you could see the 2 Stalker opening shield battery in the main to apply a lot of pressure, and that could influence a lot of the builds here early game TvP, maybe even TY opting to go for high ground command center. Absolutely a possibility as we set up into this. We'll see what DR ends up doing, and I don't know if that's phased out of the meta already. I guess we're about to find out, as we do have in the top right our red Terran player. This is going to be TY. Taking on the blue Protoss in the bottom left-hand side, Dia. Game 1 of this best of 3. As we set this up, we get this going. Gonna be seeing a gateway dropping down to start us off, and a probe from Dia starting to move onto the map. So this is not going to be super crazy from Dia. He just go gateway in the main base. It's not going to be that initial sort of setup with the Stalkers, but you can see that TY is going to open double racks in the main, so that itself might be a bit of a defense against this. Is it going to be 3 racks Reaper? I'm kind of intrigued. Yeah, CV drops down a supply depot there, and that's going to be getting back to the other side. So yeah, TY really trying to play some mind games early with Dia, and Dia's obviously like, well, what the hell are you doing? The thing is, it's kind of a nice mind game in one way, because it's like, also because it plays on the meta of sometimes people will just expand in the main because of that Stalker build that Parton started to do. And because of that, it maybe says to Dia, well, maybe I don't have to be as worried. Maybe he's just expanding the main and trying to mind gaming. But then there's actually going to be 2 Rax Reapers, so hard to say. Hard to say. Do you see this probe coming back around the bottom right-hand side? There's a cybernetics core from Dia setting up as well. And the Nexus just coming down on the natural expansion. Dia is going to be just coming back across. He's looking for the expansion. He sees an SCV ready to take it, but he will not actually see it going down. And he doesn't see what else is being done. He doesn't see there's going to be a second Reaper building. He doesn't see that there's another Reaper popping even sooner than that one, which is kind of funky. So again, it keeps Dia a little bit kind of on the guessing end of things, and you can see his Nexus finishing up. Look at this. He's already building a shield battery on the natural. He's very afraid of what's going on in these early stages of the game, so being very, very cautious. And these Reapers, 3 of them together, I imagine what they'll do is not go for the frontal attack, but instead hop up here and just try and target down some probes, because 3 Reapers will 2-shot probes. If they get in here and they get rid of, just say they get rid of like maybe 3-4 workers, it's already, I think, a good win here from TY early in the game. Because again, Dia has no idea about what is actually happening. He's going to have the Stalkers nearby. Can he get 3 probes? I feel like 3 probes is absolutely obtainable now. The SimCity helps. Well, doesn't help when you actually lose the first shot to a gateway. And then he actually does decide to back away because of the Stalkers. But he gets 1 probe and the Reapers are still alive. I think if he commits, he gets 3 probes. And, that's decent too. But it's also nice to keep the Reapers up and keep the map control, which is exactly what TY will do. In terms of tech choice, it will just be the blink from Dia's look at TY. Now he's going to spice it up a lot. Marauder Marine concussive shells. He's going to go for like a push across the map. He's, in a way, going to kind of force some Stalkers here, drop some grenades. He's burning the shield battery energy, so if he comes across the map with Marauders, he's going to be able to break through that shield battery energy much faster because it's already being drained a bit. And that's obviously going to be pretty big here as well. So, watching out for that. As we do see the couple Stalkers still hanging out there then. I'm trying to see what's going on. Probe facility from Dia in the main base, as we do have another assimilator dropping down on the natural. Probe still mining. And this shield battery actually is kind of in an awkward spot for the probes mining this mineral patch. It's not a massive issue, but it's definitely not a typical setup. I mean, this comes the Bioforce now from TY, and what a build will this is in the end. I love this as well. He's going to draw units into the main base with the Reapers. Going to find a probe out of range of a shield battery. The probes on the left side here are in range of the shield battery. But yeah, Stalkers are being kept busy, and now, oh my god, these 2 Stalkers are dead because they can't get in range of the shield battery. At least the first one goes down, and now the probes are going to be pulled in, but you can't pull too far forward because you're out of range of shield batteries. Stalkers on the ramp here going to try and fight as well. 3 Marauders How much can TY do? He's going to go up into the main base. He's going to Reaper Grenade a Stalker up into the sky, which means he's going to get another kill. Well, I mean, in the end, you're obviously forcing this fight in the main base. Blink is there. The Reapers could definitely finish off that lower health Stalker. Doesn't need to. He's now on the high ground, going to pick away at some of those probes. And this is still a bit kind of dangerous for Dia. He is finally going to clean this up, but the losses he has taken are really substantial. I mean, let's look at that units lost tab. 5 Stalkers and 5 probes for the 3 Marauders and 8 Marines. Stalkers are just expensive units, and it is resources lost favoring TY, while keeping himself at a good worker count too. On top of this, I mean, yes, Dia built these shield batteries, but that's something that eats into Dia's economy early in the game too, because he was afraid of what was coming. So that's also kind of additional damage to think about here, that was an investment that Dia made he wouldn't usually make early on in the game. So Dia's defense was really good. I mean, when you consider the fact that he didn't really know what was happening, he had a lot of units in the right positions. He was able to shut down the earlier Reapers without them doing too much, etc., etc. But man, I mean, in the end, he's still just a little bit all over the place when TY actually decides to strike, and that's going to be pretty crazy, as we do see this Reaper making its way up into the main. And it's just going to scout all the way around the back here, and some Stalkers blinking up here as well, as we do see the first Reaper going down. And the rest of this bio army from TY continuing to press out into the center of the map. This little medevac's going to be boosting along as well. TY coming all the way down the bottom left-hand side. Stalkers, sentries gathering on up, as we do see our Bioforce ready to strike here perhaps. Going to stim on in, and already a Zealot going down. I mean, this follow-up that's just going to be hard for Dia to hold, because he's being forced into just masses of Stalkers. He hasn't really had much time to tech up much further than this, and I mean, TY just strikes when it is still just purely Stalkers and not much else. Probes are going to try and pull in once again, but I mean, TY is behind the mineral line, so those probes aren't even going to trade that well. And a couple of Zealots here. Dia's just going to have to type out GG, as TY, with a very fun, funky build, start off in this game number 1. As we start off in the bottom right-hand side, the red Terran player, this is going to be TY. Up 1-0 in the best of 3, as in the top left, his opponent, it is going to be Dia. This is the semi-finals, which means these guys have both already earned $50, and as you move into the finals of this event, you're guaranteed $100 and then $200 if you win. Just going to be seeing the racks dropping down from TY in the main base. Probe is going to continue its way down to the bottom right. A little bit of nibbling from the Probe Scout here on Nightshade as TY. He's just going to go for a more regular expand. I do feel like the 3-rack Sweeper is almost a bit of a counter to if, you know, you do see that Stalker play across the map almost. But it's also just a fun way to open the series and kind of make things a little bit more funky as well. The Reapers themselves might be the initial kind of counter, but you have the second rack, so you can build up a counter more easily, and you're not trying to expand on the low ground as quickly, so there's a lot of reasons to maybe then commit to it. As you do see, Probe just coming into the corner of the map here. And I'm not sure if TY saw that, because he doesn't have quite the vision on the edge here. So it looks like the Probe is going to stay in the natural. And as the Reaper leaves, it's going to force the Reaper back to go kill that Probe and to save the SCV. Just going to come in, and the Probe already taking some extra shots. SCV, oh my god. Giving me a little bit of a heart skip there. As you do see the TY SCV out of the main base, having scoured so far. So you're just going to see this SCV hanging around as we do see the Adept going to pick away at a couple of shots. I mean, SCV is going to get back in the main. If the SCV scouted the Stargate, I would lose my mind. That never happens in TvP. Bunkers up, the Adept might be able to get behind the natural CC or so, but nothing really crazy. Might want to try and block the land there to delay the orbital, but I wasn't there in time, so realistically, not much to be done. Second Adept actually stays at home. This is going to be a third Adept, though, and at this point, you're looking at kind of like a few Adepts and probably a few Oracles together trying to make some attempt of an attack. It's tough against a bunker, though. It's good against no bunker, because then you can like shade in on top of a group of Marines and the Oracles join in. Against a bunker, it's not a setup of units that ever break the bunker down, so yeah, not really expecting too much of that. As you do see, the Adept is going to go shading forwards in towards the main base. Reaper coming up the right-hand side. We see the stim pack from TY on that main base. He's gone pretty quickly into the second racks here again. And just a 2-1-1 opening this time. So pretty regular 2-1-1. Just a little bit late on his reactor on the factory. This is like a Wardy 2-1-1 where you actually forget part of the build and you don't actually do things as well as you should be. To say the least. As you do see the Oracle turning back around out up into the center of the map. Reactor on the factory then. I mean, it's a nice revelation because you see the starport taking the reactor, so you pretty much know what this is at this stage as Dia. So you know just to be a little bit careful about the early, marine attacks and the marine drops that can come in and that kind of stuff, which can absolutely apply some pressure. As two Phoenix and the Oracle hanging out in the natural. Going to be seeing the third Nexus from Dia on the way up on this right-hand side as well. And we are just going to be seeing Dia starting to make its way down to the bottom right-hand side of the map. See what might be able to be done. Couple Phoenix, Oracle backing away as we do see the couple medevacs of TY coming back up to the top as well. Just obviously just getting ready to go for this first drop right now. So dropping these first few Marines off and getting ready to stem and towards the third base perhaps. It's going to see another Adept finishing up there, and it doesn't feel like there's enough units here from TY to fight this at all. This is a lot of units produced from Dia, which is exactly what you need in this kind of scenario. To just produce enough units so you don't die to the two medevacs and Marines. And that's definitely happened. There's the Adepts to kind of fight off on the ground. There's the Phoenix to hit the medevacs. And they can lift up any units they need to towards the end as well. So Dia does what he has to defend this initially. And that is now defended. As we've got these few Phoenix flying around in toward the main base. So they're going to be hanging out. Going to see a missile turret dropping down. Marines starting to stem forwards, and the Phoenix will just escape from the main. Now a few more Marines from the top side. I'm just going to see those Phoenix taking just a little bit more damage. The Oracle as well. I'm just going to be seeing the Twilight Council about to finish up from Dia in that natural expansion. So setting that up, getting that going. We do see the Marines able to turn the Phoenix around, and the missile turret fires onto the Oracle, fires onto the Phoenix. And Oracle taking a bunch of damage as we see the SCVs being pulled. So a little bit of an SCV pull from TY at this point. I mean, just 3 racks, no third CC. It's not like the biggest SCV pull you've ever seen. It's just the natural SCVs. The main is still mining. And TY looking to pick up a win here now. Sentry has energy for one single force field wall off. Like, not one force field, multiple force fields. Just one ramp to block, but that's going to be a dead Sentry. Now, the tanks here are very important. The SCVs are going to want to tank for the Marines against the Colossus. And the tanks are going to want to try and target fire that Colossus down as the Marines spread into the concave. I'm not convinced this is going to work at all here from TY. Is in the middle of the map, Phoenix are picking off reinforcements. Just doesn't really have what he needs to fight off the Colossus. And as the second Colossus arrives, the Marine counter TY is going to get absolutely shredded. So, yeah, the tank's starting to target fire down the Colossus now, but I think it's too late. The Phoenix lifting up a siege tank, and this entire army of TY just getting pushed away back down this ramp. There's the GG to give Dia game number 2 in this best of 3 series. And we're tied up 1-1. As Dia just has the numbers. TY's SCV pull does not work. just didn't really have any advantage to SCV pull into, and yeah, Tia just had the units to realistically. Bottom right hand side, our red Terran player from Triumphant Song Gaming. This is TY. Up against the blue Protoss in the top left, it is Dia. Just so we get this one started, I just want to say thank you to Matrix Matters, donated another $5. Said Dia literally sliced innovation in half. Wow, great show, and thank you, Wardy. Thank you so much, Matrix Matters, for the extra $5 donation. Appreciate it. If you guys are enjoying the stream, of course, typical things. You've got a Twitch Prime sitting around you have yet to use. Consider using it on the channel. If you have $5 you can spare instead of subscribing to the channel. Not only does it help us keep on streaming, it also allows us to keep on producing our own StarCraft 2 events. And yeah, it's generally a lot of fun. So do check that out. So yeah, subscribe if you can. If you can't, no worries. Just keep enjoying the StarCraft. Watch the ads if you want to. All the usual stuff. Don't forget, the replays of this tournament will go out to subscribers. So if you would like to get these replays, then you want to be subscribing on it. They will be available on our Discord, or you can go to the Patreon page, patreon.com/WardiTV. $5 a month also gets you the replays. With that said, a little bit of sellout time as we see the SCV pushing the probe back. CC goes down a little bit late, nothing really major. As you do just have the SCV scouting around into the main. Remember, again, winner of this plays against a Zerg in the finals. Dia has, again, stepped up a bit more lately. He's started to look better and better as of late. As you do see the Adept going to be Chrono Boost now, the Warp Gate starting. This Reaper of TY making its way down the bottom side of the map. And just trying to figure out where it should go. So just moving around a little bit. And again, just Warp Gate coming through here. Next, it's about to finish up on the natural expansion. I'm just going to be seeing the, yeah, Sentry going to start Chrono boosting out as well. So getting that Sentry up and running. Hey, thank you so much, Carpeton, for that Twitch Prime sub. And Purple Jesus, or Jesus, sorry, for the fresh subscription as well. Welcome, guys. Thank you so much for making my little sellout segment worthwhile. Thank you so much. I appreciate the subs. Appreciate the support. Welcome to the Wardy fam. Did you see the Adept wandering forward? This is going to shade on through here, and the CC going to start morphing in towards an orbital. Adept kind of hits the front, and Rax is going to lift off the reactor and move to the side. Factory will jump onto the factory here as well. So a couple of Hellions on the way up as the Adept moves up the ramp. And that is going to be the cancel of the shade. It's TY moving into the center. So Blink is starting up here from DS. Getting that underway as we have the gateway about, well, on its way up as well here, basically. The Reaper coming around up in towards the main base. Probe is going to get popped and is going to be killed off. So that goes down as the Stalker is looking to try and get the Reaper kill, and it will get that Reaper kill in the end. Again, Blink just on its way up as we do have the couple of Hellions going to be trying to make their way in for some extra little bits of damage, and actually getting a few of these probes here. It's not too bad actually in the early stages. It's going to be 7 probe kills for the first couple of Hellions. Plus the fact is TY, you got the full scout into the main base. So you got to see that this is a Blink opening. So full information for TY and work your damage early. That's the dream start for the Terran player. Exactly what you're hoping for. As he starts with a third CC off the 1-1-1, he's just going to try and capitalize off of a good eco start. And away he goes. And thank you so much, JT Perrault, for the 4-month resub on the Twitch Prime, if that seems good. Thank you so much for this love and support as well. Widowmine drop into the main. Widowmine drops off, going to burrow up. Unburrows looking to reburrow here. Oh, and the natural gets only a couple of workers. I feel like that's a real shame, because I feel like there was only one way this Widowmine didn't get a bigger clump of probes, and it was the one way it fired. Maybe could have done with some retargeting, as we do have the Forge now. Is TI going to start the upgrades? I mean, TY's not exactly been on fast upgrades himself, going second and third racks before we even see an engineering bay, which will now drop in the natural. I'd be surprised if this was just one engineering bay rather than the double, because we are on a third CC already. So just one engineering bay and just one upgrade kind of feels strange for how late it's coming into the game. And there is engineering bay number 2, also going to start in the natural expansion. Now the double Forge started up from Deer as well, so these are both players who are going to stay similar-ish on the upgrades. Typically Protoss will chrono boost them and take a bit of a lead, but will stay fairly similar across the board. As you do see the couple of racks going to lift off, one to the tech lab, one going to go to the reactor. So combat shields and just like extra marine production starting. And that starport's building a reactor up 2 extra racks. Just 1 extra rack is kind of weird as well, just to go 4 racks instead of 5. Maybe just waiting for the money to build racks number 5. Maybe just things aren't lining up as they usually do for TY. Sometimes it happens. Just trying to wait to see what's next. Dia sitting at the front with these few stalkers. Just hanging these around, and the Templar Archive setting up from Dia in the main base. Going to be seeing a couple of assimilators dropping down from Dia on the third base as well. A couple of extra gateways dropping down. So all of this setting up. And we do see the few stalkers from Dia just pulling back away out into the center of the map. So pulling those stalkers back up through the middle. Charge coming up, 1-1 upgrades coming into play. That's the extra gates about to finish as well. A couple extra pylons coming through. It's going to be an auto turret of TY dropping down to pick away at a couple of those probes. Another auto turret into the main base as well. So a few of these probes already starting to drop down here in these early stages. I mean, this is a nice little harassing Raven to get a few worker kills on top of the damage earlier. Does mean you don't have the Raven abilities on the map, although 1-1 in combat shield's about to finish. TY might just go straight up bio push. Might not need the Raven abilities to power up this incoming attack here. Bio still pressing up the right hand side, as you see auto turret dropping down again. Couple extra probes going down. And again, this bio force of TY is stimming forwards. First medevac takes a beating, and actually medevac will drop. And the tanks are very far back here as well. I actually don't like this position for TY. Plus, it's before his 1-1. I mean, 1-1 finishes now, but took the start of the fight without it. And there's the Archon Stalkers sets up on the right side, 4th base from DM. In the upper right hand side as well. I'm just going to be seeing a couple of Widow Mines setting up still. Dia trying to poke around over on the left as 2-2 upgrades still coming in on the Forges. More Prism going to be on its way out of that Robo facility, and still TY loads up 3 medevac units. Going to take these out up the right. Try and see what's going on. So unloading this in the upper right hand side, and just going to get ready to stem up in towards the Nexus. You see the rest of these stalkers from Dia backing away. Here we go. Pylon already in trouble. Cancel on the Nexus and a couple probes. We'll go down along with this. I mean, it's a nice way to deny a 4th base. Let's see why recovering a little bit from that failed attack on the previous side, on the other side of the map. Has got some ghosts on the way. Has given up factory production. Using that to help wall off over here as well as a nice smart move. As a few medevacs will come back into the center. Raven taking a little bit of damage. Stalkers from Dealer into the middle once again. Going to be seeing the extra ghosts coming through. A couple extra missile turrets. And the Liberator still coming out. Still TY's army moving into the center, and doesn't want to go too aggressive though, right? You're waiting for that ghost count. He's actually going to Liberators as well. TY might just play a very defensive style for the next little while and just say, okay, well, let's sit back a bit, build up for a little while. Observer gets sniped down. As the Bio army will pull back away over to the right. As you see again, a few Zalts is going to be pressing their way in towards the 3rd base here. So an SCV goes down, and the SCV going to get picked off. I mean, this is a nice little run by from the start. Zell comes in. Is the Zell going to line up a snipe? Is that just going to fight it? Or maybe... Sorry, I said Zell. The Ghost lines up a snipe, maybe. It did not. Just going to fight those Zealots. This is going to be a cleanup. The War Prism... Oh! Gets shut down by the missile turret and the Widow Mine. And TY suddenly has freedom to move across the map without worrying about further reinforcing kind of counterattacks from Dia. Oh, well, this gives TY a bit of freedom to push across. Can he do anything with this? I mean, he has a good ghost count. Where are the Liberators, actually? Where are those at? They were heading up the right side. Now they're pulling back. Looks like everything is pulling back in general. TY still not ready to commit to the fight here. So TY going to pull this all the way back down to the bottom. EMP's not dropping just yet, but he drops the Matrixes to shut down the Colossus, and that means that these Archons are in a lot of trouble. Oh, that's a really bad fight from Dia, obviously. I mean, just so much goes wrong there. The Matrix on the Colossus means they don't do anything. Then the EMPs didn't even use that many EMPs. Could have killed those Archons so much faster. The Liberators may be in a bit of trouble as we have got the Zealots being cleaned up, so they've been harassing, but I just feel like Dia just lost a lot of important parts of his army. Now he's only really got Colossus, which on their own against a larger army like this aren't that great. You can see the intention of TY wants to fight it. Didn't even drop EMPs again. I love how he's been so patient with the EMPs, actually, because now he has a lot of EMPs still available to help him in this fight. Hasn't dropped them and just kind of, caused Dia to, back away already. Well, obviously, maybe if you drop them, then Dia may not be here. He may not have lost a supply depot, so there's another way to look at this. CC going to lift up in the center. There's a CC in the bottom. Milfin into plan. So TY is trying to go up to 5 bases. After being on 3-4, a little longer than he would have liked. So maybe being distracted a bit by Deer and being held back. Again, more so than he would originally like it to be held back. I see a scan in the center here, just on top of the rest of this army. I'm just going to be seeing army of Deer still making its way down this side. But the Liberator sieging up as the bio units coming in. Dia taking a few shots from some more of the bio units as well. The rest of this setting up and moving around too is, again, Lib's going to siege up once more. Disruptor shot will not connect. Again, just Dia holding back a few more moments. Still not quite committed into this. There's a couple of Viking shots hitting the Colossus, and our Liberator still sieged up. And shockwaves going through as the Vikings, very narrowly getting the Colossus. Doesn't quite make it there. Our bio army going to split up. Disruptor shot lands in the center, but doesn't connect. This one will connect. It goes pretty high. Energy goes down. Next couple of disruptors haven't done a lot. SCV is trying to come in to, more than anything, I think, just block units getting away. Tell you what's big here. Every unit, apart from one disruptor that's kind of tech heavy, gets killed off. So, well, it wasn't pretty for TY, and he lost a bunch of SCVs. He does kill a lot of very valuable units. I mean, TIA's army is basically been reset to Stalkers and, Disruptors. And Liberator count continues to rise with Liberator range, and we've seen this before. Back in that Innovation series, the second game, where, an army like this from Innovation was really able to make, Dia's life with Stalker Disruptor very difficult. Now, this isn't quite the same scenario. TY definitely seems to have a bit of a better position than Innovation going into this stage of the game. Let's see what happens as Dia's being quite aggressive, moving into the middle of the map. Neb's going to mostly set up on the left side, but doesn't matter so much if the Disruptors are going to end up coming around the right. Obviously, you have to keep repositioning those Liberators as required. Loses one of them, but there's the extra reinforcing Libs. TY, I don't think it really wants to be here. He thinks about fighting when the Stalkers blink in. He really wants to set up those Liberators. The longer he waits to set up these Libs, the worse it's going to be for him. EMPs coating the Stalkers to take away their shields. But now Zealots and DT is going to hit the bottom left. Planetary Fortress will be repaired. And there is a missile turret here. Maybe this CC has to lift up, which it will. And for the moment, missile turret is holding on. Is there enough here as the extra SCVs come in to repair? Oh my god, the base goes down. So that is a killer. Now DTs are going to kill a ghost or two. Meanwhile, over here, we still have an attempt of Dia pushing up this ramp, and TY is going to type GG to let Dia go through to the finals. Watch Rogue make the finals now, and I'm going to be really sad because I want to cast a TY Rogue series, and Dia keeps losing, or Rogue keeps losing. GG's, Dia takes it, and he is going to go 2-1. Very well played, I think, in the end, and just has a good composition to end up on that does good things.